Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey everyone, I'm Kelton.
And I'm Zach.
I'm Bo.
And I'm Dennis.
And welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good.
It's going.
Yeah, I'm now in a group chat with other IWW members, so Houston is starting to awaken.
I thought you meant like right now with them, and was like, oh, I thought we were recording a podcast, but okay.
I'm sexting them right now. They keep asking what I'm wearing. I keep saying a red bandana over my face.
And my titties.
Man, never have I been like happier to be as someone who's afraid to get tattoos, basically. To just have it be like, oh, so why don't you have tattoos? My excuse could now be so that way then cops can't identify me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one's going to argue with that. Like, that's like end of discussion point right there.
Wow, 18-year-old you was really smart. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even better, like, go to a rally with a whole bunch of fake tattoos, then just immediately peel them off.
Yeah, everybody should buy those fake tattoo sleeves on Amazon. That's like the mesh like sleeves that you roll on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that way you can cover your own tattoos with them. And they won't be able to discern what they look like.
And if they're neoprene or some like lycra or some material like that, that can protect you from tear gas and pepper spray.
Yep.
Ooh, see, even better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's right up there, I guess, with our idea of like the Green Man Army, of where we're all just in morph suits protesting. So it works. Well, because then you can like easily edit out, the faces completely. It functions like a green screen.
You just make the green transparent and just put, the burning Minneapolis police department behind it.
Yeah.
The revolution will be chroma keyed.
Yeah, you could just chroma key in someone's like face. Like I don't know, just put fucking Joe Rogan there or something. I don't know.
No. You know those things where it's like all the CGI generated faces.
Oh yeah.
These people definitely aren't real. Just do that over and over and over again over each one.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
I would love to see that.
Thanks for listening to us this week. Don't miss our second release on Friday, which is our game show, and that is fun to see what
Yeah, you got
fun
this.
to see what predictions we have.
There we go.
That make it to the end of the week. Also, I guess if we're gonna shout out two things, don't forget to listen to our stream tonight. Don't forget to check out our Patreon episode if you guys can listen to that for just $1 a month. That way you can spend the other $4 on a bail fund.
That's where your money should go.
Ooh.
To us idiots, not to important stuff.
Since we have yet to actually cash out of anything on Patreon.
Oh, so what you're saying, we could just throw it all at a bail fund right now.
We could.
Okay,
We could theoretically. Are we going to? No, because we're bad leftists. Shh, Bo, come on now. Our brand is fake praxis. We've turned our actual fake praxis into a brand of fake praxis, but then we offer meta commentary.
Oh, we're so smart. Yeah.
Yeah. That it's the ultimate of shenanigans.
The hugest
is what we have going
brains.
I don't think that's called shenanigans. I think that's just called running a grift.
Yeah, I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Like a leftist Ponzi scheme that's built on soup. Is that really what the alternative is, though, Bo?
I like soup.
Who doesn't?
I like leftist Ponzi schemes.
Well, then I have the Patreon for you, pal.
Wolf of Wall Street, but it's Psychic Dolphin Garage. It's Bo at a Food's Not Bombs, just being like, sell me this spoon to as many people as he can.
Approaching a very hungry man on the street, like, I don't know. I don't have any fucking Wolf of Wall Street quotes, but just doing some douchey Wolf of Wall Street stuff. I didn't see that movie.
Look, penny stocks. They're a penny. You buy 100 of them. When they finally turn over, and you get 10 cents on each one. Suddenly, you've made $1,000.
There you go.
That's what happens. It's definitely not relying on pump and dump. But hey, this guy knows a little something about pumping and dumping. Am I right? Okay, moving on to the next guy.
Yeah, pump and dump guy.
Yep. Just pointing at me.
Well, Yeah, I mean, we haven't gone full K-pop idol with all of our merch stuff. So you'll know that we've gone full grift once we have just handbags with Bo's face on it.
I mean, if anybody should be lauded these days, it's I mean, maybe not the idols themselves, because Lord knows that's a fucking horrible exploitative process. But the K-pop fandom for pulling one out for fucking coming around, like
not pulling out. Not pulling out.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But
We would like to thank the parents of the K-pop fandom for not pulling
there we
out,
go. Yeah.
and the K-pop fandom.
Thank you,
not pulling out
white
in
middle
the
class
fight.
people. Your children are doing well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I am too old to know what a fan cam is, but man, oh man, it's doing good work.
The BLM, I cannot fucking talk.
BTS
Oh my
actually is
God.
what it is. Yeah.
I keep seeing BTS. I'm trying to say BLM, and I can't say BLM while looking at BTS. The BLM hashtags on Facebook have been inundated by K-pop fans. All the white nationalist hashtags on Twitter have been inundated.
Yeah, like
all
White
of
Lives
the-
Matter, Blue Lives Matter, shit like that kept popping up. Basically got flooded by K-pop posts, and that's cool as shit.
Yeah, and the city of Dallas specifically was posting links for people to post videos of police violence, or not of violence against the police and people breaking the law, and that was also basically taken down by K-pop fans who posted just videos of K-pop dance pieces and stuff.
That's what
Yeah,
a
whatever-
fan cam is.
Whatever it is
Yeah.
those perverts are into,
Yeah.
Watching their favorite performers perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this
So
is
perverse.
an army of posters that is dedicated to unleashing hell on people that want to use hashtags and all these other internet things for evil, essentially.
Right,
Fucking
I mean-
rules, yeah.
I mean, this is like probably the most effective slacktivism because it certainly is drowning out and not platforming anyone or taking away a platform at least.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
interesting to see that contrasted with the fucking black JPEG thing that went
Mhm.
around. I think mainly just due to format fucked up Instagram more than anything else.
Right.
Because like if you make it your
Well, yeah,
profile
'cause
picture on Facebook,
all the
it doesn't
multiple
fucking matter.
hashtags.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so like that's the
Yeah.
thing though. Like it's basically like the opposite of that in that like no, this was actually incredibly helpful instead of actively deleterious to fucking organizing and keeping people in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
I think as good as K-pop came off of this whole, all of the horrifying events that are surrounding us, Instagram has taken like the biggest knock on the chin. Because like the people who were just abusing the hashtag, those were on the relatively light side in terms of the offenders. Because like there were also Instagram people and TikTok people out there who were recording videos and purposely trying to like stage themselves getting arrested or them at the protest and making sure that they got the right filter settings and exposure options on whatever photo shoots that they were trying to do. And that's just, I mean, fucking soulless.
Picking
Yeah.
out your BLM your protest outfit and
Mhm.
going and standing in the street to get a picture.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Well, because it's also like these are, I mean, let's be real here. These are white people who are then trying to then instigate something with the police because they're thinking, hashtag aesthetics of it all, not really thinking about how the police are then more likely to then attack black and brown people instead. So they're not even the ones necessarily suffering then the brunt of the
Oh,
damage.
absolutely
Right.
not. Yeah.
Basically, man, what was that? Like 2009, 2010, when Justin Bieber was talking all that shit behind like his 7-foot bodyguard, and then like it's real that energy is kind of what it feels like the entire
right.
time.
I don't even think it's that like thought out either. I think it's just they're like, yeah, like I'm gonna fucking do the thing, and meanwhile, fucking twiggy Instagram people aren't even on the police's radar. They're just here to hurt the poors and the minorities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's good to I guess post about going to a protest if you're comfortable being, outed as
Tracked.
being at a protest, being tracked, having your stuff watched. It's kind of hard for us to not be tracked at this point, I guess. We're on plenty of fucking
Right.
lists for, definitely not the things.
Yeah, all that contact tracing. That's the thing that's gonna do us
Yep.
all in.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but like, you know, I guess post about it so that there's visibility on social media, even though social media is starting to dampen all of the protesting content.
Well, because it's bad for numbers.
I mean, I all of the protest stuff has gotten more engagement than any other post I've ever seen on the timeline normally.
Right.
Like what is Twitter for y'all normally? Like a picture of a cat, someone's dumb tweet, they have like maybe 500 likes, and then it's like Hollywood Avenue has been occupied by a abolish the police march, 40,000 likes, you know, 80,000 retweets somehow. I don't know who's retweeting it without liking it. You know, like
an interesting ratio, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Ice-T and Ice-T and Ice. Who's the other?
Cube?
Ice Cube?
Ice Cube? Yeah.
Ice-T, Vanilla Ice.
Cube.
Wow.
Joining
Ice.
in.
No, Vanilla Ice has Vanilla Ice made a statement? I'd like to know.
I don't think so, and honestly, probably should stay that way.
Yeah. If he he could just tweet hashtag BLM and then that's it. There you go.
True.
That's all you need.
I'm really not excited to hear Vanilla Ice's take on current events.
Yeah, all their stuff. Yeah, so it's yeah. I mean, we know why they're covering up protest stuff because it's working and they're scared
to fucking have that avenue of control over, like, you know, because social media is how a lot of people get their news and fucking keep abreast of things. To see like the amount of, you know, pro-protest shit and abolish the police and just the kind of overall you know, the overall sea change almost of support for this is cool as shit. Now is like television news doing as good a job? Apparently not. I don't fucking have like cable, so I can't tell you, but
yeah, I don't watch television at all.
Yeah, if somebody over the age of 60 could tell us how that's going, you know, fucking that'd be great, but
God, fuck that. I cannot imagine trying to watch. I see the articles posted. I can't imagine trying to watch them talk, you know, react to and talk about Denver and Seattle banning tear gas and rubber bullets, or, you know, the police departments that are pulling out is it LRAD? LRAD weapons. Yeah, long range acoustic device weapons and all this sonic warfare against protesters. I mean, we're gonna have water cannons out before you know it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Against completely peaceful protesters. Protesters that, like, we aren't even at the point where we're, you know, thinking about shooting back, I guess.
God, the optics
in
of
Minecraft.
The optics of like hosing down protesters, you know, just a perfect a perfect parallel to what happened during the civil rights movement. It's like, oh yeah, things just have not changed.
Oh yeah, not at all. I mean, that's really the thing, and the fucking people doing the hosing down do not give a shit. Like,
nope.
They don't care that the optics are bad. If cops wanted decent optics by this point, they would have fucking, you know, stopped being shitbags, perhaps. But
right,
you know, they're there to fucking play army man. They're not there for a greater social good or anything like that.
Yeah, if the cops wanted to not look bad, then they wouldn't have lied every time there's a video of them doing something, and then later change their story on that video.
Or how in Austin now the cops are calling candles incendiary devices.
Yep.
Oh my God. I saw that post too. It's a candle exploded on the ground and they're like, it's an incendiary device.
It's like
there's
all we are just incendiary devices in the wind.
God.
I guess what we're gonna kind of focus in on here is Minneapolis city council members pledging in a veto-proof majority pledging to defund and dismantle the city's police department.
Yeah.
Fuck
which
yeah.
Which is the first step. This is the first step. This is the first step that we're taking as a nation to fixing the problems that we constantly fucking talk about on this podcast. And it is,
come on now.
It is amazing. We have an entire We have an entire like game show built around the
idea that police are
dehumanization of
garbage
humans.
and fucking unaccountable and
Mhm.
Well, I mean, so I don't know about y'all. I've been doing a lot of reading. Not reading. I've been listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos. But shit on like police abolition and the actual workability and stuff of that. And it's like, so to return to the Wolf of Wall Street example, actually, this movie that again I have not seen. I assume has something to do with selling or pitching things. Like a big takeaway is try and fucking pitch somebody on the police. Like, pitch somebody on the, oh yeah, if you have, if you see somebody having a mental health crisis or, somebody like, somebody like is like in trouble or like, asleep on a park bench or something, like, yes, call these people, these fucking like jockey idiots with with guns to come help. These are the people to resolve this situation. Absolutely. It's like that doesn't make sense, of course, and like it doesn't make sense for a lot of other reasons too. But just like this is our go-to solution for every bad thing in our society is, oh yeah, we just have somebody come by to either like kill the related parties or put them in a box somewhere, so we don't have to fucking think about them.
Yeah, I certainly agree there are lots of reasons why the American police specifically are bad, but if you think about how many hats we force police officers to wear and how they're supposed to be ready at a moment's notice to show up to someone who's drunk on the sidewalk and know how to treat that situation, show up to a house where there's potentially domestic abuse happening and know how to properly respond to that situation.
Yeah, that's who I trust on domestic abuse issues, the police.
Right.
Well, because I mean, like, isn't the idea is to like institute a Department of Public Safety, or to basically have the Department of Public Safety take over a lot of those roles, and then like whatever cop quote unquote sort of function would be more like just like the SWAT team, if you will. Is that an accurate understanding?
From what I understand,
of it,
like there would certainly be the armed, as Lennon said, the armed the armed organization that is supposedly above us would no longer exist if we had a need for warrants to be served or for violence to be confronted by a trained team. We would certainly have an organization differently trained than what the current like SWAT teams are trained as. And
well,
Right.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just meant in the sense of like Bobby cops would have they would have to call in for SWAT to show up. So in this way, it would be the Department of Public Safety.
Yeah,
like,
more
Right.
or less. Yeah, we
would
would
be
still
calling
have.
them.
We would
Okay.
still have. I mean, we live in mega cities at this point. We
Right.
would still have, a SWAT
Mega
like.
City what?
Yeah, we would still have SWAT like teams that would exist because there is still a need for, if there is an active threat, an active shooter, someone that can come in that can stop an active shooter.
Yeah. You have a
because
therapist
that's
with a gun.
a therapist with a gun.
God, I need a therapist with a gun.
to
You're
shoot
in
things.
Texas. Your therapist has a gun.
Yeah. And in theory, they would not be. There would eventually not be a need for them because we have a Department of Public Health and Safety,
Right.
which is addressing the conditions of these people long before they become violent and dangerous to a larger number of people.
And that's really the
Do you think
fundamental
that we could-
takeaway is rather than, individualizing the problems like, neoliberalism loves to do, deal with the systems producing those problems and fucking, wow, no more problems. What the
Right.
fuck?
I mean, there is a real world example of this that has happened. It is in a very small town in Michoacan, where the people rose up against the politicians, the police, and the drug cartels, and they have themselves like an armed militia of like men and women who keep out because a lot of the times Mexico just likes to keep trying to get into the places where they've been told that they can't get in, but so they do have an armed militia, and they take it. It's a community that takes care of itself. They if someone like has minor offenses, they like littering or something, they have to do community service. If they're something more egregious, they do have a council that they have devised. But at least according to this 2016 article, there have been no kidnappings, disappearances, or murders in this city. So it's as if, there's going to be less crime because you have to count on one another to make sure that things go well. It's so bizarre.
If you improve overall, standard of living and workers' rights and stuff like that, people are going to be less likely to do crimes. A thing I keep returning to with the, just seeing dipshits who are like, oh, well, absolutely peaceful protest is fine, but these riots are inexcusable. It's like, well, these riots are because people feel fucking left out of a system that has intentionally left them behind. And rather than, putting them in fucking vagrancy jails or debtors jails like we would in previous centuries, we just put them in fucking, essentially food deserts and ghettos and just say, hey, fucking fend for yourself, buddy. Good fucking luck.
An open air debtors prison really is a good way to put it, Bo.
Well, that's the long-term goal of neoliberalism, is to establish basically an open-air debtors prison. Yeah.
So here are the last two paragraphs from this BBC article written by Linda Presley. So if you wanted to look it up, the city itself is called Cheran. Wait, no, it wasn't the last two paragraphs. It was the last, three to the last paragraphs. Doesn't matter. Cheran is not completely independent. It's still a state and federal funding, but its autonomy as an indigenous Purepecha community is recognized and unwritten by the Mexican government. Its ban on political parties, meanwhile, has been upheld by the courts, which have confirmed its right to not participate in local, state, or federal elections. In the state of Michoacan, Cheran has become an oasis of hope. Its peace and security a stark contrast to the fear that still dominates neighboring communities. So why has it succeeded, thrived even, in such a cruel but beautiful region? Margarita, Melissa, and Edberto will give you the same one-word answer. Solidaridad. Solidarity.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
That is beautiful. Also, interesting that it's a Purepecha community. The Purepechas were some of the only people never to be conquered by the Aztec.
Damn.
So it's
Nice.
it's just it's part of their history.
A little bit of pride, yeah. A little bit of pride there, I could imagine.
Mhm.
I mean, I've played Civilization, so I basically know exactly what that's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I know that Montezuma's a nasty man.
He is. If you but it's so easy to win in the if you have him, because you can get so far ahead in the Stone Age. Doesn't matter though.
Oh yeah, get that fucking early culture boost. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. But that's a beautiful statement. Solidarity. That's why they take care of
that's
each other.
absolutely the thing. That's and fucking yeah.
And that's like a very positive. I mean, I think that's a very positive take on police reform. Is we can do better if we have all these other things that we need. We don't need to spend. Houston spends $500,000 on each of its HPD personnel, and that's a college degree, a new car, a house, and equipment, and a decent salary for that person every year.
Right. I think
you could buy all those things every year for that one person for that much money.
The statistic going around is that it costs nearly as much money for a single police officer, for the city of New York to fund a single police officer, as it does a single bus. One. Yeah, it's 230 million.
Bus.
Yeah, it's 230 million for a police officer, and it's 270 million for a bus. It's why don't y'all just get more buses?
Jesus. Instead of
I think we all know why they don't get more
we know
buses,
exactly why.
Unfortunately.
Look. New York, instead of just eliminating all fares for their subway system, they just hired more cops to enforce the
Right.
rising fares.
Wait a second. Well, again, that returns to the point of fucking if anybody's oh well, of course we still need the police to do X, Y, and Z. It's okay, but why are they doing this? What interest does that serve? Does it serve public interest? Or
I would like to read the first two sentences from the foreword of this free book, Our Enemies in Blue. And the first two sentences say, "What are police for? Everybody thinks they know, but to assume that the police exist to enforce the law or fight crime is akin to beginning an analysis of military policy with the premises that armies exist to repel invasions. The ends an institution pursues are not always the same as those it claims to pursue."
Damn. Wow. Really? Which, of course, you say that, like, like, it's obvious when you fucking say it out loud, but to, a lot of fucking supposedly otherwise smart people, it's like, it's just ideologically ingrained and goes without being questioned, because,
Yeah.
they're the police. Of course,
We need to start with
maybe there's some bad apples, but they're here to protect us and society and blah, 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 and,
Yeah. And
without them, who's going to stop all the murders?
Well, why have we never questioned why we spend so much money on police before? If you look at Texas city budgets, like 95% of the budget is police department.
Jesus.
I've never seen that until now. I've never seen that until now.
Yeah,
And
other people have already made the comparison, but it's that drill tweet. It's the fucking candles one.
You mean the incendiary devices?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Please, somebody help me budget my incendiary devices. My family is dying. That's just policing.
It just starts the conversation though, because like LAPD just had their like everyone is saying, oh, the budget was slashed to help slowly defund the police, but it's like it was slashed by like $150 million, and their budget is somewhere near $5 billion or some ridiculous number like that.
Jesus.
Do you know how
Jesus
much? How much
Christ.
education is?
God.
Like a couple $100 million is how much they pay in public funds towards education.
Right. I mean, a comedian, LA-based comedian, Tess Barker, said, "How is it that the police make, or like their budget is over $5 billion, but my mom, who's a first grade teacher, has to buy crayons for her class?" It's like,
yeah,
like it's ridiculous that these. Just imagine if we had more, robust education and transportation in a city as huge as Los Angeles, so that every neighborhood had a school, every child had the ability to get to those schools via a bus. So much of the world's just so much of their life would be just changed, because the evidence shows is that access to a very well-rounded education does improve people's lives, not just materially.
Yeah, and to think that we don't have a skepticism about why the police require this much money. I mean, we know why they have that much money. It's because all of our representatives are trash.
Our fucking jelly-spined fucking toadies, yeah.
Yeah, it's
absolutely the biggest weenies.
Yeah, it's because everybody that believes in the police believes that we need an occupying force to protect their slice of the pie.
Oh, so LAPD's budget is $1.86 billion. That is about $1.85 billion too much. It's actually probably like
5.9.
It's all the dollars too much. In fact, yeah.
Yeah, and even wondering where else these things could go, towards social workers, towards healthcare professionals, towards education, towards Medicare for all on a state-by-state basis.
Towards getting me personally a billion McChickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want a PS5.
Yeah.
I want a PS5, and I want it right fucking now. I don't care about release dates.
Mm-hmm.
That's also ignoring the points brought up in, again, this book, Our Enemies in Blue. Great. I haven't read the whole thing. I can't read the whole thing.
We don't read on this
days.
podcast. We know.
Yeah.
There's no need to be ashamed.
How fucked up would that be if at the end it was like, and that is why the Jews actually are the ones
my
who
God.
are the real main problem.
Oh, no. By J.K. Rowling. What the fuck?
Oh, no. This is by
Different kind of bigotry, I know. I'm sorry.
The author of this one is Joy James. She's the presidential professor of humanities at Williams College.
Right.
She writes lots of resisting state violence themed books.
If you're
but the headings here are police and power in America, police brutality, the origins of American policing, slave catchers, the genesis of a police society, cops and Klan, hand in hand, the natural enemy of the working class. These just keep getting better. Police autonomy and blue power, secret police, red squads, and the strategy of permanent repression, riot police or police riots. This was written in 2007.
Oh
Right.
no!
And if you're still on the Anarchist Library, which you should be, you should hop on over and search for Angela Davis's "Are Prisons Obsolete?" I've had to read parts of it. I've never read it in its entirety, but I've had to read parts of it for various classes. But she does follow through like the history of imprisonment in the United States and how it's based off of slave catching. Also, in the United States, police and prisons go hand in hand. These are like, we can say that these are two different things, but they are one and the same in this country, at least. She also hits on points very specifically about gender and gender structures in the prison system and abolition. So there you go.
I love
Check it
that
out.
this is like the next radicalizing point for all the white kids that really got into, well, the war on drugs was bad because marijuana is good. Now it's like the war on drugs is bad because prison reform is bad. Now it's like, oh, right, the cops were the bad ones the whole time.
The cops gave the black communities crack cocaine.
That's the wrong kind of planted bricks, Dennis.
Oh man, this is obviously the evolution of all of the prison abolition discourse, and this happened years and years ago. Like this has been written about since the 80s.
I mean, fucking since the since the 60s, even since like fucking a lot of this draws from like slavery abolitionism too. Like it's kind of the same enemy since then. So a lot of the solutions remain the same, which is
I'm not aware of any writing about prison abolition off the top of my head by any Black Panthers other than Angela Davis, but I'm almost certain that this sort of thing has been discussed since then. There's no way that it hasn't been. These things are not new.
Nothing new under the sun.
I mean, I'm almost certain I could find the idea for prison abolition and police abolition going all the way back into to the time of slavery. Like it's definitely not going to be a difficult topic to research.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's really the thing when you fucking extrapolate back, and it's like, oh well, yeah, like colonialism and slavery and the enclosures are all kind of sides of the same three-sided coin, which is now a metaphor I'm not happy I set up, but
the enclosure of the commons.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just fucking like, yeah, let's basically, make this territory wherein, we call the fucking shots, and then from there, like, anybody who doesn't listen either gets thrown in a box or killed or, fucking shackled. Like, just undoing all that. Don't do the bad things is basically the thesis of this fucking ramble.
Do the right thing.
A Spike Lee joint.
God, I wish he wasn't so like awful.
Such a Dorcas.
Yeah.
Dorcas Maximus.
Are you saying that the guy who directed Black Klansman might not have the most revolutionary ideology?
Not
No, it's
anymore.
cool because he's like, he's like one of the good cops.
God,
man.
Would it surprise you that I had to watch a lot of Spike Lee movies for my degree as well?
What? Oh no!
It was just Old Boy.
Mm-hmm. No, it was Jungle. Gosh.
Clearly his best film. Yes.
I would have never been able to get through Old Boy. No, I watched the one that pops out in my mind is Jungle Fever. It's very good.
Oh my. Yeah, my hottest like Spike Lee take is that I prefer his Old Boy to the original, and that I know is wild, but
that is a spicy take.
Yeah.
It's a spiky take.
God.
How has he done a Huey P. Newton story and Malcolm X and is it Chirac?
Yeah, Chirac.
Like, and he's so close.
Because the aesthetics of Revolution are really fucking cool, like
especially to
people.
him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the unfortunate thing. I think as like, because we're in a post-Obama world, I feel like a lot of black celebrities and other like celebrities who are people of color kind of were like, well, we got a president who wasn't white, so we did it, everyone.
Yep.
Well, yeah, especially when you're like, fucking loaded, like that's a very easy conclusion to draw, because it's like, well, shit, I'm doing fine. Like, obviously there's still injustice, but if I'm doing fine, then,
there is a path,
Mhm.
Yeah.
is the
It's
belief.
completely ignoring the fact that capitalism has like built into it like the ability to have flukes where someone who is on the very bottom can get to the top.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think Spike Lee might have become radicalized again since he lost out to Green Book, though. He might just be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going back to my roots here.
Neoliberalism creates people like Terry Crews, who tweet out an hour ago, defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth.
Oh,
Like it or not, we are all in this
is
together.
an absolute fucking whiskey shit of a take. Wow.
Yeah, don't you have some more like trans people to not believe are real, Terry? Come on now. That's-
Also, the thing is, it's like you have to explain to them. It's like, no, like white people are very much going to be part of dismantling white supremacy.
They have to be.
They have to
because-
be, but also we have to go beyond just the dismantling of like white supremacy as like, because you can get stuck into a liberal hellhole again. With like, there needs to be actual material change when it comes to the classes as well. It
Mhm.
can't just end at race. It's so annoying to have to like tell other people of color that it's like it can't just end at race. Like we need it to go, and we need it to go further. You can't just focus solely on race. You need to see why these racial structures are in place.
that certainly makes sense, but like for so long, like it's hard to preach that message or to be open to it.
Yeah, because when I speak to people of color about
Yeah.
it's not just about race. You have to understand. Here's some YouTube
Exactly.
videos from a guy named a guy who has 1488 in his username. I think you'll understand much more after this.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no, like
From y'all's perspective, it is a lot harder.
but no, it is useful though to kind of draw attention to with this what I've found reading up on a lot of this police and prison abolition stuff is one of the same issues like with anti policing and anti-carceral systems kind of has the same thing as anti-capitalism. It's like, okay, yeah, like we might not have like the perfect like answer or like one snappy fucking elevator pitch for this is the ideal future society. Although luxury automated gay space communism, I mean, fucking there you go. But why are we doing what we're doing now? Because it's clearly not fucking working. We need to,
Right.
kind of just fucking step back and reevaluate. And that doesn't mean, add a rule to the existing system where it's like, oh, no, you can't do this kind of chokehold for more than 3 seconds. And if you do, then
Right.
you get a fucking no-no point on your record. And if you
What
get
if-
3 no-no points,
Then your
What if fucking, like-
insurance, your liability insurance goes up for the city.
yeah, exactly.
And
And
then
it's
more
like,
city funds are taken away from education and put towards paying your liability insurance because all your cops are fucking dirty and you
Yeah.
can't get rid of them.
and
It's
then you
just
just have
such
the
a-
same fucking issue. You're just spending tons of fucking money on police.
It's a Liz Warren way of like saying, it's like, yeah, of
Means
course we
tested
don't have,
police brutality.
exactly. Like we don't have a clean cut plan because it's not going to be clean cut, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna
Like-
take a lot of like fucking talking things out, and moreover than talking things out, because like as much as like it's good to imagine a new society, listening to people affected by the worst parts of the current system is also a good way to go. Like,
I mean, when we
Yeah.
were reading State and Revolution on Friday on our stream. Hey,
Mhm.
we might be doing that today on Tuesday. Lenin was like kind of on the nose with this whole revolution thing and abolishing the state thing, where he said that there's absolutely no way that this isn't going to happen without like violence. And I said then, and I'll say it now, is like, as someone who like believes himself to be a pacifist, like, of course there's not, like, I don't want there to be violence, but I understand that the violence is not going to be coming from the people. It'll be coming from the state who wants to maintain the status quo.
absolutely.
And there's no way that that it's just going to be talked through. Although I think Lenin did kind of make the case for like not really totally buying into the electoralism and the well, at that time it was just regular liberal, not neoliberal, but the liberal way of doing things.
Yeah.
So we gotta like, maybe try and talk through a few things, but come November, if like whoever the fuck the president is, if it's Biden or whatever, don't get out of the streets. Yeah, don't worry, it won't be Biden. It might not even be Trump.
Yeah.
Ooh, wild card, real Pence hours. Let's place that bet. Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah,
God.
all the power of Trump, but somehow actually effective at his job. No.
Also,
Like-
way less entertaining to watch the fucking trash fire, and TV news moves on to Tiger King 2, and oh wait, shit, like the whole country is a concentration camp now. Wow, how did that happen?
Gay people can't eat pizza anymore? What?
QAnon flags going up all the way around.
Actually, they're flying the QAnon flags at half-mast in memory of David Dees passing away.
You know that has to like bother Mike Pence so much that he has to like pander to these people now. Like that's the horse he's hitched his fucking ride to.
Yeah.
Like, all he wanted to do, like, if Mike Pence was around, like, as a young man today, he would be angry gamer review bro. Like that's his entire energy. And so
yeah, he would be the quartering.
Oh
Yeah.
God, you're absolutely right. Oh no, chief editing officer at the quartering. Except that he would like create like some like bullshit name like chief
commie SJW expert. Yeah.
anti-censorship editor.
Can we get him on the show? This show needs more Funko Pops.
Yeah.
No.
God.
Jesus,
What a fucking
the quartering.
douche.
All I can think about after you said that is our small victory this week for the Constitution and the Third Amendment.
Yes, yeah, that was. I'm sure some very boring people were very like, yeah, finally the Third Amendment. Like that's my favorite one.
All the memes about it. It's like it was like James Madison, fucking based writer of the Constitution, and then we will give them the ability to refuse to quarter troops. 300 years later, it finally comes into
Finally,
play.
fucking pays off. Yeah.
Talk about a
Who knew?
reveal. I mean, just masterclass. By the way, are we cool now then with following the Constitution, or like what's the situation here?
The Constitution is good, and it's good that you can use it as a giant fucking cudgel
Yeah.
to beat the living shit out of whoever the fuck thinks that the police just showing up at houses in Seattle and just arresting people for being at protests and supposedly committing violent acts against the cops is
Oh,
okay.
God. Do you think if we made custom riot shields, but it's a printout of the Constitution, we could grift some like libertarian boogaloo boy bros?
God, actually.
100%.
Just asking. Asking. Really trying
I
to
don't think-
diversify my portfolio here.
I guess the last thing that we get to close with here is talking about I don't want to talk about J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
talking
let's
about
not.
all of the,
Let's not talk about just the.
Are
fucking...
you sure? I'm sure there will be no other leftist podcast who would dunk on Harry Potter, because that seems like
God
super
forbid.
original. Absolutely. That's actually probably a good like measuring stick of like, how are your Patreon dollars being spent? Oh, dunking on J.K. Rowling again. Ah, yes. Clap, clap, clap. Keep it up. Yeah.
All right, here's
Fuck
my
you.
J.K.
Fine.
Rowling dunk.
Nope.
because you guys-
Moving on. We
No?
cannot
Okay.
become the thing we hate.
All right.
Dunk
all right.
Spelliarmus.
Uh,
I'm gonna fucking. Well, it's been a good run. I'm going to voluntarily remove myself from this podcast.
the propaganda going around, all the photo shoots with police officers that kneel and then use it to shoot tear gas.
Mhm.
All of the mayors that have come out and like walked with the people and said stuff, especially Mayor Turner in Houston, who said that the cops have not used pepper spray or tear gas, even though there's literally fucking video evidence of it.
Now, to give some context here, this is Mayor Turner, the man who was on the Bloomberg Financial Committee for his presidential run, right? It's the same Mayor Turner who's doing that, so probably not exactly as in touch with what exactly the police forces are or are not doing. So best case scenario, they just told him no, and he didn't follow up on that when there were videos being made about this. Like,
he's too busy doing graduation speeches at all of the Houston
HBCUs,
high schools, HBCUs. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that we have so much fucking representation in Houston. We have a black mayor, we have a Latino police chief, and yet for some fucking reason we can't seem to stop killing people in Houston.
Just real intersectional neoliberalism.
We'd like to shout out all of our patrons, especially Scott for contributing to our dialectical tier, as well as Spencer, David, and Adelaide for contributing to our Devil's Advocate tier. They'll help us keep the show going. We'd like y'all to let us know how you liked our latest Patreon exclusive episode, the Mayo Chip episode. And if you want to become a patron again, you can do that for $1 a month and then spend the other $4 on a bail fund. I guess our closing plugs. What else do we have going on this week?
Obviously, let's see, Gigo, we're going to be doing a show. Don't really know what. Tune in on Thursdays, though, for Sports Radio 1917. We're fully embracing like the stream format, so it's going to be happening on YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, and then also possibly on Facebook Live as well. Just really going to annoy everyone. As might even throw like Twitter via Periscope just to really, really blow up anyone's notifications. Just,
Now what you do is you have everybody RSVP, get their fucking FaceTimes or whatever, get them through Facebook Messenger or Skype or something, and just it's a tailored one-on-one, but one on fucking however many people. There you go.
Yeah, it's just going to be me ranting for like an hour and a half about fuck Drew Brees. So,
Drew Brees also, like, he had like a bad take and then he came back and it was like almost a good take.
Almost, until he said he wanted to become the leader of the Black Lives Matter movement in New Orleans. So
he said that?
Yep.
Oh my God.
That he could be the one to lead the Black Lives Matter movement in New Orleans.
Drew believes in Black Lives. Fucking Christ. Okay.
Can't wait to draft him in fantasy. It's gonna be amazing.
His name is Drew Brees, but he's an airbender. That's the post.
Drew, I can't breeze.
Oh no!
No!
No! I can't breeze. Jesus!
I'm not signing off on that one. Sorry.
Oh God, Zach.
Jesus.
That's amazing.
Right, I mean, the rest of your week, you'll have to wait till Friday to come back to something good. So watch our stream tonight and look out for that Friday episode.
Right.
Put me out of my misery, Kelton.
I do have one thing to add. I was contacted by a friend of the show, Hunter X Hunter Biden, on Twitter. He asked if we could mention Tony McDade, who was one of these black trans men that was killed by the police. Of course, we will. And we acknowledge pretty much everyone who has been killed by the police lately, because that number just keeps growing and growing. And it's very unfortunate. But he asked me to bring up Tony's name because it really hit his community over in Tallahassee. So rest in power, Tony.
We will say their names on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony was killed in Florida. There was a vigil held while Minneapolis burned. And this has happened all over, and it will continue to happen until we defund the police and begin dismantling the system of capitalism that hurts so many of us every year.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll toast to that.
Yeah. None of these deaths will be in vain. We'll make sure of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, y'all. Deuces.
Howdy, y'all. Don't forget to follow our link tree in the show notes to discover new things like our Discord, social media platforms, and all the places where you can listen to our podcast. Word of mouth is the best way to introduce us and other leftist creators to friends, family, coworkers, your AA buddies. Community is about more than hot takes online. And if you want to support our efforts, you can donate to us at patreon.com/psychicdolphingarage, which is spelled how it sounds. Hope to see you on the stream tonight. Enjoy this music by JJ Demon.
How the fuck I still got a full head of hair? Not a single gray. Fuck the cops, family first, every single day. Bringing a charm when I ring the alarm. My arms got a box cutter insignia. We gotta abolish ICE, abolish it. No need to apologize, the Holocaust apologists. For no reason we colonized the land and put up monuments. Dope needles, dollar signs, the globe stares in astonishment. I hope there'll be a punishment. I really wanna get bloody. I really wanna stand in judgment of anybody taking money from anybody in the struggle. Anybody on a budget. Poor people getting 10 to 20 for some dumb shit. Corporations incorporating a bloodlet. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words.